Now, Minister, you're in the United Kingdom, as I understand it, at a time when the US president, in fact, just overnight for us here in India, issued a new executive order to ensure that AI, artificial intelligence, doesn't do public harm. Do you believe that developers who do pose a potential risk must share the results of safety tests with the government? Now, America wants their industry to do this. Do you want Indian developers to do something like this as well?
So one of the things, Vishnu, that I would certainly like to draw your attention to is that the wording. First of all, I welcome what President Biden and the U.S. government has done. I think this is in the wake of the historic MOU between the U.S. and India when Honorable Prime Minister visited the U.S., where the U.S. and India have agreed to collaborate in AI and in semiconductor and in high performance computing and in quantum computing. So AI is certainly an area where India and the US are going to work very closely together. And I think our basic principles in how we view the internet and in general and tech in particular, tech in general and internet and AI in particular is similar, because we have been saying for almost now 24 months that our policies and our approach to regulation is about safety and trust and accountability, safety and trust of our digital nagriks and accountability of all the platforms that serve our digital nagriks. And that is exactly the language that we have used for the last 24, 30 months. And it is good to see that now the US is essentially talking about safety and trust and accountability, albeit one or two words may be different, but effectively they're talking about safety and trust of the users. And I think that convergence of the leading nations of the world and leading tech nations of the world around making the consumer or the user's safety being the primary public policy objective for any tech policy making is a good forward step. Now, in my opinion, different countries will approach this differently in terms of whether there will be disclosure of risks from platforms, or there is a need for sandboxing platforms and having sandboxes validate some technologies in AI before it is actually made commercially available to a mass market. Or in our case, as India is proposing, and we will certainly strongly propose it in tomorrow's discussion here in the UK, is that we think we need to create an overall framework of user harm, which is the reciprocal of safety and trust. What kinds of user harm are not permitted by any platform, whether that's an AI platform, whether it's a consumer tech platform, whether it's a social media platform, that we start regulating the internet in general and AI in particular through the prism of the safety and trust of those who use it. Because, when we talk about AI, Vishnu, and I'm sorry, I'm going to ramble on this a little bit.
Please do. It's fascinating.
AI is a technology that is going to enable us to do more with less. So do more good with less. We will certainly become a force multiplier and a kinetic enabler of a digital economy. That is the good news. But the same principle applies to the bad and the harm, which is that AI will be able to amplify and compound in very significant manners the harm and the criminality elements of the internet as we know today.